Hi everyone, welcome to another video tutorial of TIA Portal. In the previous video we learned how to create and use function and function blocks in TIA Portal. As you know, when a function block is called in a program, an instance DB will be created. Today I'm going to talk about this topic and different data block instances in TIA Portal. As I said, when a function block is called, instances are created and assigned to the function block automatically to save the data. There are three different options for storing instances in TIA Portal: single instance, multi-instance, and parameter instance. These different options will depend on where you are calling your function block. What we did in previous video is actually using a single instance which brings an instance DB under program blocks. In a single instance, the called block saves its data in its own instance block. Let us look at our example. I've created a function block that takes two numbers and gives the result of some math operations as output. Count as a static variable saves how many times we use this function in our program. I've already called this function block 2 times in my program and 2 single instance DBs are created here. I'm going to call it again in OB1. Every time that I call this function block, a window is shown to create a data block for the called function block. In this case, there will be only one option, which is the single instance. Another data block is created in the project tree for the function block we just called. I'm going to assign actual values to the function block, create a variable for the result, download and run the program. Modify the sensor value to 1 to create an edge to run the function block. If you open the instance DB and monitor the values, you see all the data are saved here. That's a single instance. When we call a function block in OB1, a single instance DB will be created and the called function block saves its data in this block of its own. Now, if I call a function block inside another function block, we have an option to choose to call the function block with multi-instance DB or parameter instance. I'm going to create another function block and call our first function block with multi-instance inside the new one. Since I just want to show you how calling a function block inside another one with multi-instance DB works, I just declare some test inputs and outputs. Now we can call our first function block here. When a function block calls another function block, the instance data of the called function block can also be stored in the instance DB of the calling function block, not in its own instance DB. This type of block call is referred to as a multi-instance. Hit OK. As you see, if we call a function block as multi-instance, it saves the data in the instance data block of the calling function block. Instead of creating a new DB, the new instance will be created under static variables and the data will be stored here. That's the only difference with a single instance. Let me assign the same values as in the function block that we called with single instance. Call the new function block in OB1. Download the changes. Now the new function block will be executed in OB1. Its data will be stored in its own instance DB. Then the new function block will run our first function block. But this time the data of the called function block will be stored inside this DB under the static parameters. I'm going to create a pause. As you see, the result of single and multi-instance are the same. The function block with a single DB is called once more than multi, so the count here is 2. Like a single instance, we can even call several function block inside this function block. For each call, an instance is created under static parameters. So in this way, we can save the data inside a multi-instance data block. How it works is exactly like a single instance. The only difference is you have fewer data blocks in your program. The third option is the parameter instance. Calling a function block in a function or another function block gives you an option to define the DB as a parameter instance. With parameter instance, the block instance that will be used is defined as an in-out argument to the calling block during execution. Hit OK. As you see, the instance data is stored in the in-out parameter section of the calling function block. If you open OB1, you see the new function block is now red and TIA asks us to update the function block call. Test input and test output belong to the new function block. What's newly added is this in-out parameter. With calling a function block using a parameter instance, you will have to create a data instance yourself to assign it to this in-out parameter. To create a new data instance, you do the same as creating a function or function block, but this time you choose the DB option. And make sure that you select the DB type to be the same as the function block called. Now go to the drop-down arrow and select the function block. This means that this data block to be created will have the parameters of the block FB. Download the changes. Modify the numbers in DB. I'm going to create an edge. As you see, we have the same result as other instances. The difference is that this time we define the instance as an in-out parameter. Then we need to create a DB for this parameter. Alright, in this video we'll learn creating function blocks inside your code will require associating a data block with each function block call. This data block and called data instance has different options depending on the type of block that is calling your function block. Advantage of using a single instance is the reusability of the function blocks and good structuring options for simple programs. Using multi-instance can help better organize your program structure, as all called function blocks will store their DBs inside the main calling function block. The advantage of parameter instance is which instance is currently being used can be specified at runtime, and different instances can be processed iteratively in program loops. Depending on your program, you can use one of these instances. In the end, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. See you next video. Bye.